Hey everybody, Dave from Chase the Summit here. Today we're out on my local trails. This is the Middlesex Fells here in, I think, Melrose, Massachusetts. There's an 8-mile loop here called the Skyline Trail, which is a lot of fun. It's pretty rugged, pretty technical. It has about 1,500 feet of elevation gain in it over the course of about 7.5 miles. So I like to come out here for some technical training, some hiking. So today the goal is to do 3 hours out here on the trail, a mixture of different kind of terrain, no distance goal in mind. Really just going for duration today at a nice comfortable pace to dial in that endurance. That's what the 100s are all about. Today I've got the Apple Watch SE and I'm using the Work Outdoors app that seems like everyone recommended in my review of this watch. So I downloaded it and it is pretty cool. I've also got the Garmin Forerunner 945 on my other wrist just because I'm a nerd. But I will say, if you do have an Apple Watch, spend the $6 on that Work Outdoors app. It's way better than the built-in app or even the Nike Run Club app. I also want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. It's pretty awesome to see all the engagement I've gotten on the past couple of videos. And I want to say a special thanks to the members of the channel. You can become a member by clicking that join button down below. Gives you access to some behind the scenes content. So thank you, Bryce Hennelly, for being a member. I really appreciate that. And yeah, if you want to support me and what I'm doing here, definitely become a member and I'll try to do some cool stuff behind the scenes with you guys. Also, if you enjoy these kinds of vloggy content videos, I'm gonna try to keep doing these in between my reviews because they're a lot of fun and they're pretty easy to create and edit. If you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up down below and hit that subscribe button. Do all the things. I really appreciate it. I tell you what though, it's really busy out here on the trail today. Lots of people out here hiking and running, mountain biking, and it's really testing my ability to vlog because in this kind of situation I'm pretty shy about talking to my GoPro in the woods by myself. And when I'm alone I can do it, but when I come around a corner and there's someone watching me, it's pretty embarrassing. Today I want to talk about my upcoming 100-mile race, which is in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks out. So right now I'm, trying to get in my last long runs, and then I'll start my taper, or at least winding down a little bit, down to a stop. I'll probably do like 2 easy weeks, and then the remaining days I'll just take completely off right up to the race. So this race I signed up for, it's like one of the only races in Massachusetts or in New England that hasn't been canceled due to the virus. I've been eyeballing this race ever since all my other races were canceled because it just didn't get canceled. And I kept thinking, oh, they're gonna be putting it off and they'll cancel eventually. But here we are, 2.5 weeks out and it's still not canceled. So I was actually stalking Ultra Sign Up, watching how many spots were left in the race. And of course, people started signing up because all the other races were canceled. So one day I log into Ultra Sign Up and I see there's only 4 spots left. Halfway through the day, 2 spots left. And then I refreshed it one more time and there was 1 spot left. And that's about when I pulled out my credit card and pulled the trigger, registering for the Midstate Massive in 2020. And I'm totally underprepared for it. And the race is a lot of fun because it's point to point. It goes from the border of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, right through the middle of Massachusetts, along the Midstate Trail to basically the border of Connecticut. And the starting line and the finish line are about a 2-hour car ride apart, which makes logistics and crewing and pacing a little bit tricky. The race is 100 miles long and has about 12,000 feet of elevation gain in it. So it's a little bit of a tough one. And there's a good amount of trail miles along with a good amount of road miles. So you gotta be trained up in both aspects and know how to pace yourself. So I ran the Midstate Massive back in 2019 as well. It was actually my first 100 miler that I completed. I actually have a whole recap video on that you can click on up here. And that race went off really well for me personally. I had a plan, I had a lot of base in my fitness, I trained properly for it, I knew what was coming, and it was just a lot more predictable of a race. I planned it all really well. In 2020, it's a whole different story for a couple of reasons. The Midstate Massive this year is really just gonna be about survival for me. Whew, a little bit of a climb here. I'm gonna walk for a second. Gotta make sure I don't have any snots in my nose. So this year, my training isn't as good as I would hope it would be, and that's due to a variety of reasons. May, June, July, I was logging 50, 60 miles a week, mainly on trails, so I had a pretty good base going on. Now the pandemic hit, started working from home, my kids weren't going to school anymore, things just changed quite a bit, and my mileage really suffered along with my fitness and my training. I wasn't eating as good as I should be, I wasn't getting enough sleep, you know, all the factors that play into it. But you know, started to turn it around a few weeks ago, getting my mileage back up, getting the intensity back up. And then I injured myself. My injury isn't what you'd expect. It's not my feet, it's not my knees, not my quads, nothing down there. It's my back. Of all the things that hurts, it's my back. And it's really uncomfortable. I don't even think the injury's from running. A couple of weeks ago, I actually slipped on one of my kids' toys on the staircase and fell flat on my back on the stairs. It really hurt, but I shrugged it off and I thought I was fine up until a few days later. You know, this ache, it's kind of like dull ache showed up, like my mid-lower back on the left side of my spine, like right next to my spine. And the weird thing is it's actually like a little bit numb almost. I'm still able to run, but it's not very comfortable. And when I add this vest into the mix, I actually weighed it down today as a test. It kind of hurts a little bit more. I think my back's a little bit more compressed with weight up there. I don't know how that's gonna play out for a 100-mile trail race, but only time will tell. I'm just hoping in the next couple of weeks I can rest it up, stretch, use the percussion therapy gun, do all the right things, and maybe there's a chance. I think either way, I'll be at the starting line. Even if I'm in pain that day, I'll just see how far I can get. So in the past few weeks, I've been dialing the mileage back up, trying to get my base back, and I feel pretty good except for that back issue. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around strategizing for the race. Like, what am I putting in my drop bags? If I'm gonna have a crew or a pacer. I'm still kind of all over the place because I partially expect the rug to be pulled out from under my feet at any second because, you know, they could cancel at the last minute. Can't say I'm not expecting it. I'm curious, do you guys have any races coming up, or were they all canceled like mine? I've got a whole bunch of exciting content coming up in the future. I actually have 3 watches waiting at my door right now that were delivered from UPS this morning. So I'll be reviewing those. One is totally top secret and I can't wait to test it out. And of course, I'll have a race recap video of the Midstate Massive 100, as long as it goes on and doesn't get canceled. And you guys will either see a great success or just pure carnage. Me crying on the side of a trail. But I'll share everything. I'm totally transparent. All right, that about wraps it up. We're at 2 hours and 55 minutes, so a little short of the 3-hour goal, but I'm at the parking lot, so I'm not going back on another loop. Oh yeah, make sure you buy a sticker. Still got a bunch left. All right, we made it. Covered 13.1 miles in 2 hours and 55 minutes. Obviously not the fastest pace in the world, but that was the whole point of today. Just go easy for 3 hours. That's all I got for today. We'll see what happens on race day. I hope you enjoyed this video and joining me on the trail. And if you did, give me a thumbs up down below. Hit that subscribe button. Do all the things down there. And I'll see you in the next one.